In fact, they're nicer than a lot of homes in the neighborhoods. In fact, my vice president's back right now visiting us, Houston Carbo, a neat guy. He's out putting land crews together in each city that we're in. And they actually walk down the streets and take people, meet the folks, take them down and show them these rehab houses, which are so much nicer than the other homes in the neighborhood. And so that's how we're able to move. I think we did 14 land contracts last Thursday alone. And it's kind of neat. It's a catch-22 because the market being crappy, if I can use that word, not by reading, forgive me. The market not being good creates this low purchase price. But at the same time, it makes it harder to turn around and sell or flip them. So we're very aggressive in having our land crews out there doing these land contracts, which are a really neat way to go. Just on IRAs, which this interests me. There was $7 trillion in IRAs a year ago. Now it's a little under $4 trillion. $3 trillion just. I'm sure you all saw 60 Minutes and heard the joke, my 401k is a 201k. You've all heard all of that. But it's about a 50% drop across the board. I know I looked at my IRA. I haven't looked at it for about 5 months, but it was down 30%. And I remember telling one of my clients that, and they go, wow, you're down 30%, you're doing pretty good. So nowadays, down 30% is good. But in any case, what interests me is only 2% of the IRAs in the United States are self-directed. And it's I believe because they want it to be a secret. It's kind of like the energy companies don't want you to know about a cheaper energy or a cleaner burning fuel because they want to sell you energy prices. Or pharmaceutical companies, they don't want you to know about this herb that's going to help you because they want to sell you the pharmaceuticals. It's kind of the same deal. These IRA companies, the custodians are generally stocking the approach. It's kind of obvious what they want you in, right? How else can they churn your money? They need to have you in the stocks. So, in any case, a small amount of folks know that. And it's simple. You just roll your IRA over. Most of you guys seem to know. But you have 60 days to roll it over. We use Equity Trust if anybody's ever considered doing that. They're really good. They're most inexpensive, and they're very organized. At that time, you can buy the property in your IRA, and all your rents or your sale money just go back in your IRA, tax-free.
Excuse me, can you go back? What did you say about Equity Trust?
I just think they're a good company. The Equity Trust they're actually an IRA custodian, like a Pensco or Transcorp, or you've heard of them, yes.
Got a couple of properties through Equity Trust that are cash flowing great. They're a great company to work with. Very good.
We're really thrilled with them. I've worked with a lot of them over the last 35 years. And in fact, recently, I was working with another group, and I'm able to really do some comparisons. They are phenomenal. So you are with them.
How does a self-directed IRA work for flipping company?
Really good, especially if you do. There's another way to do it. You can get an LLC and attach that to the IRA. And so they actually will give you a checkbook for the LLC. And you can just buy and sell, and it goes right back in that LLC, which is owned by your IRA. I have a gentleman who does that. In fact, at my company, I have several young ladies that help with transfers to Equity Trust. And I also have several folks on my board of advisors that help with the LLC and set it up so it's attached to your IRA, which makes it real easy for buying and flipping. If you're aggressive in real estate and you're using your IRA, that's the way to go. If you're not doing a lot, you don't really need to. So it's a matter of how much volume you're looking to do. This is not exactly right, and you guys are probably sticklers for numbers. I know you are. I can tell already. So excuse me for this being off a grand or two, but I think the point's going to be made. If you had 45 grand in your IRA and you lost half of that, you're down at 22.5. Now let's say that actually was double this. Say it was 55,000. You're down at 26.9. You buy a property, and remember I told you that they're all worth 45,000 or more on third-party comps, which is how an appraiser comes up with a price. So the minute you put this 26.9 in a property that closes, you've just about made back those losses over the last couple of years you've incurred from the stock market. Kind of interesting. Interesting way to get yourself back in shape, because too many people, I had a gal call me 2 months ago. She worked for United Airlines for 35 years. She retired, and she called me looking for a job because her pension went under $400 a month. Obviously, you can't really live on that. I had another gentleman I met at a seminar recently. He was in his late 70s. He worked for Lockheed, Martin Marietta. He's a really smart guy. Compared to me, my IQ is 22 and a half. So he was probably off the charts. But he lost everything. He had enough money in his IRA. He bought a couple of houses to try and start rebuilding. But he's back looking to go to work. And it's just, that's one of our, me and Josh started the company 10 years ago, was to help erase retirement poverty. just hate seeing someone have goals, work so hard, and then have the rug yanked out from under it at the last minute. I think it's sinful. So that's kind of a way to recoup your IRA losses pretty quickly. These are the strategies I think make sense. The first two. The third one I'm not going to suggest. The first one's a land contract, which most of you folks have heard of. The second one's simply to rent it, and I'm going to go through some numbers and show you how it works. And the third is to fix and flip, which in a way you're doing that with this because you're selling it with the land contract. But I think selling right now in this, with the banking like it is, with the economy like it is, may not be something that's going to happen overnight. So my IT guy came up with the obvious flip the house. Not the way we meant, exactly. And this ways I'm going to show you are going to present 20 to 24% return. So if you rent it, obviously you own the home, you have the ability to sell it for more, for appreciation later. You can increase your rents, which I'm not doing to my clients. I feel like if I'm making 23, 24%, and they're paying me monthly, I'm not going to beat them up. I want to keep a tenant in there, so I'm letting it go. But you have that ability under that approach. This is just an example. Not all the rents are 650. Some are higher, some are a little bit lower. But what we do is we go into these areas and we pick 3 or 4 management companies and we screen them real heavily. Background check. My partner actually goes out to dinner, meets with family. We're pretty aggressive about getting to know who we're doing it with to make sure they have the same ideals that we do. And we can trust them with our properties, my personal properties, which I have in these same areas, and with our clients. And they charge 10%. So the management company is going to charge you this $65, which when we first started doing this deal, I thought, you know, maybe I can drop them to 5 or 6% because you would do that already. But back there, if you drop them to 5%, they're making $30. They're probably not going to answer your phone call. It's like, sorry, I'm losing you. So 10%. Taxes and insurance, they can be a little higher or a little lower than this, but that's pretty average, about $150 a month. So you've got cash flow at $435. That $435 on 12 months, $52.20. And that $52.20 as it relates to $26.9 is 19.4%. So just shy of 20% if you're renting it at that level with those types of costs. This is the land contract we're talking about.
Quick question, when you pick a management company, do you also take their contractors that do any of the maintenance work, or do you put in your own contractors?
We do we've already done our work.
But if it needs any after that?
If it needs any after the fact, you can use ours. We're there to help. We'll get you a quote from our construction groups. You can give us the thumbs up or the thumbs down. We're definitely there to help. As long as we can. For lack of a better term, we want to hold your hand through the whole life you have the property. That's our goal. But with this, it's triple net with the land contract. So they're going to pay the taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Kind of like, you know, you buy your home and Bank of America is your bank. You cut them a check once a month for the mortgage, but you cover the taxes, you cover the insurance, you have pride of ownership, you probably even fix the house up in most cases. So that's really kind of the similarity here is you become the bank and offer to them a land contract. You've locked in a return, so here's at $500 a month for 15 years is 90 grand. That's a gross figure. We use a company called Del Toro Loan Servicing. Don't have to use them, but I really like them. I've used them for over the last 5 years. They're a mortgage servicing company. So what they do is they collect the mortgage for you, and they even collect an impound account for the taxes and insurance to make sure that gets paid. And they charge 10%. So that $500 becomes $450, and that's net, because there's no other charges, right? So you're ending up at $81,000. That's the return you've locked in. So if I can go to my stockbroker and say, hey, here's $26.9, can you lock me in at $81,000 return? After he's gotten security and ushered me out of the building. Security, get this, we got a nut case, floor 2. Landlord issues, again, it's pride of ownership. It's their house. You know, and just like you guys, when you own your home in the banks, you're still paying the bank, but you take care of your house. I've seen them put in sprinkler systems and retile bathrooms and all kinds of positive sweat equity. And here's something I don't know if you guys have thought about. This is a note, and this note is sellable. And if after 6 to 9 months, I have several folks we work with, 6 to 9 months of seasoning, they'll purchase that note for about a 35% discount. I have another guy we're working with right now. In fact, I hired a guy on my board of advisors. I'm going to brag about him in a minute, Darren Campbell. He's the #1 commercial real estate on the whole West Coast broker. #2 commercial real estate broker in the world out of He has his offices in Woodland Hills, he's got a pretty nice office, with 168 brokers that work for him. He's an amazing guy, and he's got a partner who wants to buy these